And a very pleasant good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another edition of Tornado Talk, where we talk all things Brevard College Tornado Athletics. A very special edition this evening, which we're going to get to in just a moment. But first, want to thank all of our sponsors: Arby's, Brevard Orthopedics, BSN Sports, eGolf Ford of Brevard, Hampton Inn, Ingalls, Jets Pizza, Pepsi, Triangle Stop, and Young Transportation. Appreciate their support of Brevard College Tornado Athletics. Well, catch you up quickly on happenings around the world of Brevard College Athletics. A big weekend for the Tornadoes, the football team, with a decisive 40-3 win over Averett on Senior Day. 19 seniors were honored on that afternoon at Islamel Family Field, and a big season finale win for the Tornadoes, 40-3. And as such, some individual awards handed out this afternoon. Some breaking news as Toby Naylor was named USA South Defensive Player of the Week for the conference, and Stamati Damalos was named USA South Special Teams Player of the Week for the conference. He kicked a school record 47-yard field goal, was 4 for 4 in field goals. Women's basketball with a big win over the weekend as well, 65-52 over Barry. That was in a neutral site game in Lookout Mountain, Georgia. And Destiny Williams was named USA South Player of the Week this afternoon for her work in that contest. So that catches you up around Brevard College Athletics as far as this past weekend. Here's what's ahead. Tomorrow, women's basketball will play in their season opener versus Bob Jones. That's Tuesday, 6 p.m. at the Bosch. Hope to see you there for their home opener here at the Bosch. And then men's basketball will be back in action on Saturday versus Greensboro, 4 p.m. at the Boschmer Gymnasium. And if you're in the Hendersonville area, be sure to head on over to Jackson Park this Saturday and Sunday, where the Brevard College Tornado cycling team will be in action, the North Carolina Cyclocross Grand Prix in Hendersonville. Hope you're able to check out some of that action. So with that, we're going to bring in our two special guests of the evening, David and Lynn Joyce. David and Lynn, thanks for joining the program.
Thanks for having us, Phil.
Hi, everybody.
Well, the reason we brought you in, and I would think most folks around NATO Nation are aware of this, David's retiring at the end of this semester. We're down the home stretch, and we wanted to take a moment from an athletic standpoint to really reflect back on David and Lynn here at Brevard College and what they've meant for athletics, but also the college in general, of course, and really, think about those successes and just kind of throw some of those memories, back into the front of the mind. So David and Lynn, I'd love to hear from you both first, just sort of like, generally speaking, as we're heading towards the retirement date, when I mention Brevard College Tornado Athletics, what comes to mind?
Well, a lot of things, Phil. But beside that, when people say, "Are you and Lynn retiring?" she'll quick to remind you that I'm retiring. She's still going to work. Somebody's got to support me, right? But when you think about athletics, it's been a long and very productive process of watching the involvement of Brevard athletics. Moving from Division II to Division III was a major step. I came in the door saying we would do better as a Division III school, and I have a background in that. My last presidency was a school in Wisconsin, and we were Division III, and I was on the President's Advisory Council for 3 years, and then the President's Council for 3 years, and for those 6 years, going back and forth to Indianapolis with the NCAA, I learned very quickly that small, strong academic schools like ours just thrive better. It fits who we are and what we ought to become, and it has proven to be so. We've grown exponentially, and our athletic program has grown exponentially since we became Division III, and it has spread the scholarship process throughout the entire student body. So it has been an amazing transformational program for us. And guess what? We're winning a lot more.
Lynn, anything to add to that? I know you've, been there for every step of the way.
Yeah, well, I'm a big fan and I love athletics. And so it's been fun for me to get to know athletes through the years that we've been here for 10 years. I can go back to, and remember folks, and it's really kind of neat to see what they're doing now, and I follow a lot of them on Facebook, and so I can keep up with them to a certain degree. But whether we're always at every game, keeping up through the many sources, social media and all that, we can keep up and keep informed and just be in touch and be involved in every sport on campus in some way, shape, or form. And so I've loved every minute of that, and I'm going to miss that.
Well, we're not going to have to miss it too long, Phil, because we're just back. We're in our house that we bought right now. You can tell from the background, and just about 3 miles from campus. And so we plan to attend everything we can.
Yeah.
And as I tell Lynn, now I can yell at the refs and I don't get bruised on my ribs. So
I don't know about the not bruising part.
Well, on behalf of the coaches and student athletes, I know it's much appreciative just how visible you've been at the games and so forth. So really appreciate that. So Division II to Division III, David, you mentioned it briefly, but that's a long process, several years in the making. And I know, 5 years and probably even some planning even before that. Can you talk about the process and just, how many, hours went into this, transition from D2 to D3?
Well, coming in the door in 2012, I was bringing it up to the board and to folks, and we had to sort of see how it fits. So if you really look at it from the day that the idea was planted, it was planted literally 10 years ago. And, but we looked at it and see what it would make sense in terms of how we just spend our scholarship dollars, in terms of being competitive, and in terms of getting the full educational experience. In Division II and Division I athletics, athletes are pretty much, working on their sport 24/7 all year round. And in Division III, it allows an off season, and it also permits students to be involved in other activities. And at Brevard College and colleges like us that focus on our academics and focus on student success, that it just really gave us an opportunity to have students be more active and involved on campus. And like I said, we've grown exponentially both in athletics and at the college. The example I like to give is last year in the middle of COVID, got to watch Little Shop of Horrors, a play. It was done outside. It was done at the Music Center. And the lead actors, the male and female leads, were both intercollegiate athletes, and one in lacrosse and one in tennis. And you wouldn't have seen that years ago. But going back to the 5 years process, I will also tell you, yes, it was 5 years. Once we applied, we were accepted in a conference, and then we had to go through the drawdown. We didn't take any student athletes athletic scholarships away from them, so we had to move through the process, and then had another year of probation. It was long, and it was especially long for some athletes who were never eligible for postseason play. But at the following, as soon as we were accepted, they waived our last year, which was good. We applied, and then working with our conference and other schools, we submitted a legislation to the NCAA to shorten the time of transition for schools transitioning to Division III from Division I and Division II. I mean, we were part of the family, and if you were coming from another athletic association, you had a shorter time transition than those within the same, and it passed unanimously. And to this day, they call it the Brevard legislation and the Brevard rule. So that was kind of exciting too.
Yeah, getting into Division III and also official membership into the USA South Conference that much quicker. And ever since that arrival, the on-field and on-court success has been phenomenal. The football team coming off that first bowl victory, able to get a co-championship this past spring, postseason berths for women's basketball, women's soccer, men's soccer, volleyball already. We mentioned a couple of the Player of the Week awards at the beginning of the show. I mean, the Tornadoes have been racking those up, week in, week out since arrival into the USA South Conference. So on the field, performance-wise, David, really, the move has been fruitful.
It really has. And what a lot of people don't even realize is our average athletic academic GPA has been moving up every single year. And in fact, all our athletes, their average GPA is higher than the average college GPA. That is almost unheard of in this area. So we're very, very proud of the success of our athletes. And yes, winning is fun. Believe me. All of us were at the game on Saturday, and that was unbelievable. The football game on Saturday. I mean, where we did a number on Averett, but and all the records that were broken, and just the crowd and the whole ethos, having all this on campus now. It was a long time coming, as you probably were going to get to. We have a new field house, we have new stands, we're building a press box starting this week, with bathrooms and all those kinds of things. But to have a turf field on campus, tailgating, all well lit, with 3-4 sports playing, actually 5 sports playing on the field, that just a whole sense of what it means to be a college like Brevard.
Well, you mentioned football, and I know David and Lynn, the two of you traveled up to Pittsburgh a couple seasons ago for a matchup against Carnegie Mellon in the Scotty Whitelaw Bowl, first ever bowl berth for the Tornadoes, and then promptly the first ever bowl win for Brevard College, and you all were there every step of the way. That was a big moment and a big kind of springboard to what's to come, not just for the football program, but for athletics as a whole.
And for the college as a whole. I mean, everybody's heard of Carnegie Mellon, and our kids came off the bus. We were there. A lot of other folks were there. We had probably almost as good a turnout as they had from Carnegie Mellon. And I talked to our athletes. They were anxious. They were juiced up. They were, it was overwhelming. But from that first play until the end, they ran through Carnegie Mellon like a hot knife through butter. And it was hard not to gloat. But it was an exciting time to go to Pittsburgh and see us do that. It helped put us on the map. If you go to Pennsylvania, if you go to Western Pennsylvania, they know who Brevard College is.
Yeah, no doubt. Lynn, do you have a particular memory from that trip to Pittsburgh?
Oh, it was, we were all nervous, I think, until that first couple of plays, and then we just started dominating the whole game. And I think somebody on the sidelines either told Miranda or somebody, those guys had never been hit as hard as they were hit by our players. And so it was neat to be a part of that. And then I've got photographs still up in the house from that day, and especially after the game when we all just, crowded on the field and took photographs, and lots of hugs and lots of jumps and lots of photographs. It was just fun. It
was. So to see how we had progressed, and we did it with class, and we did it with great leadership in the football program. It made us proud. Our students acted and performed well, both as athletes and as dominating athletes, but also as good sportsmanship. I'm proud to call myself a part of this program.
Well, worth mentioning as well, because while these teams continue to enjoy success in the USA South and NCAA competition, over in the world of USA cycling, the Brevard College Tornadoes are 10-time national champions as a team, dozens of individual national championships, including some won this past fall in Durango, Colorado. David, I know this in Lynn as well, a particular passion of each of you, mountain biking and cycling, but to be at Brevard College where there's this sort of, successful collegiate program as well has got to be gratifying.
Oh, it's more than gratifying. In fact, my wife, Lynn, and I were coming here to go mountain biking and look for a place to eventually settle down when Brevard College called us. We were very excited, but you already know this, Phil, but we started mountain biking competition at Union College, my first presidency 25 years ago. And our first coach happened to be my wife, Lynn, who raced, and Debbie Dana, who's our dean of students, who was at that time the women's basketball coach. I had a coach and a racer start the program at Union. And the team they recruited that first year, 4 years later, won Union College's first national championship. And then Lise McCrae came to Brevard to learn about our cycling program and started their cycling program. We moved on to Ripon College in Wisconsin, started a cycling program there. And I've got in our basement where we fixed up a little bike shop, I got jerseys from Union, Ripon, and of course Brevard. And But Lees McRae, Brevard talked to the people at Lees McRae to get their program started. And I have to laugh because that DNA goes all the way back to Union College. So to some extent, we can take a little bit of credit because there's the first coach who ended up giving the DNA that started at Brevard. So we were very excited. That program was already a robust program, already had national championships when we came here, but it just continues to get better. Brad Perley's a wonderful coach. Mm-hmm. And Cypress Gorey, it's the whole thing has been exciting. It is absolutely amazing. In 2009, I got to compete in nationals in a race up in Vermont. I may or may not. I finished 27th, so I was the 27th fastest old guy in the country at the time. But I was out of 28 racers that finished. So nothing to brag about, but at least I understand what those athletes go through.
You were not a couch potato.
I was not a couch potato. And I said, this is my last time.
Now, while the mountain biking program has perhaps the best home court or home field in the entire country, Pisgah National Forest right in our backyard, the facilities, as you mentioned before, David, are on the move, in the upward direction across all sports, football on campus, Ives Lamel Family Field, the Frank Patton track, a fantastic facility for those athletes and also a resource for the community, and the new field house as well. David, if you can talk even further about facilities, and just how proud you are of that kind of improvement here on campus.
Well, looking at the entire campus, we had a lot of improvements we had to make, and we've done really well over the last decade. We've had great supporters, been able to get good financing. And yes, I want to talk about what's happened in the athletic world, but we've air conditioned all our residence halls except for one. We built 2 new residence halls to accommodate growth. We renovated almost all the academic areas. We continue to make everything climate controlled just in time. We didn't know about COVID-19, but we got all these things done just in time. And so every year there's been something. And I think when I do retire, when people will remember me the most, because out of the 21 roofs that we have, now 20, I was going to say 19, but counting the gym, 20 of those roofs have been repaired and replaced in the last decade. Now, nobody gets to look at roofs and get exciting, but when you get leaked on, you understand. But that also gave way to what we did in athletics. Football was playing off campus. We had some very sketchy fields, et cetera, et cetera. There's no program that's on a venue that I'm embarrassed to be about. Now, I'd like to see us build a new gym. I'll just throw that out for the future president. I think a new performance gym would be really helpful. But our gym that we have is pretty. The floor is wonderful, and the crowds are right on top of them. So that has to make a difference too. But we're very, very proud of what has been done, and to have everything on campus. And with the field house, every single program has decent and good locker rooms and storage areas and training areas. And the first thing that we did was put a weight room in. We had a football program since 2006 and didn't have a weight room until 2013. What's wrong with that picture? Now we met all those things, and I'd love to take credit, but it takes a team, and with Juan and Miranda and the coaches and the leadership team and the support of the community and the campus, we were able to do that because there were so many things we needed to do to set the priorities. Everybody felt like they were the priority, but we were able to work together to make the priorities and make it happen. And you can see it when you walk on campus. And I'll also say during COVID-19, when everything shut down, we did not shut the campus. We invited people to walk on campus, but told them they couldn't go in buildings, and we became the park for the community. And people still walk, still come through, still appreciative. Earlier this evening, they gave us a commendation for I Heart BC Day at the City Council. And one of the things the mayor pointed out is the close relationship between the community and the college. And he thanked us for keeping the college open at a very difficult time. And I think that's been a key to our success, to really being part of the community, and the community supporting us and us supporting the community. And it all circles around athletics. Last story, because I always tell stories. Lynn and I were eating over at that new hot dog place called Corky's, and one of the firemen came in, Tom, and we know him, because he comes and he works football games and other games. And we were just talking to Tom, and he was effusive about how exciting it was to see how the college has progressed in athletics. And he made a promise. He said if he wins the lottery and when he enters, the first thing he's going to do is build us a new gym. So I'm just telling everybody out there, keep your eye on Tom the fireman, because he said he would do it. So we'll hold him accountable. Hope he wins the jackpot. That shows the support that we have in town too.
No doubt about it. Well, David and Lynn, hold tight, because we've got some folks who want to say hello while you're here with us on Tornado Talk. But before we do, we did get a message from one of your old classmates, David, and want to share this with you. This from Grant Bullard, owner of the Gwynn Valley camp. Grant writes, David Joyce has always been a team player. That is just one of many reasons that he has been so successful in work here at the college, as well as other schools he had administered. He truly cares about people wherever he is, and also the greater community outside the college. We're lucky to have David and Lynn remain a part of Brevard and our county. Best wishes, and hope to see you out on the trail soon, writes Grant. David, I know you go way back with Grant.
Yes, I do. And I appreciate, he was the first one to write me a congratulations when he found out we were moving to Brevard. Grant and I played soccer at then Pfeiffer College, now Pfeiffer University. And Grant's 2 years older than me, and he gets mad when I tell the story, but I'm going to tell him because he can't do anything about it because he wrote. He and I played the same position at Pfeiffer. We were both left halves. And for 2 years that I was always his backup guy, and I was hoping he would do something stupid or get hurt or get sick and not show up so I could do it. He never did. And I had to wait till he graduated before I got to start. And but Grant has always been a classy and great athlete, and I loved him then, and I love him more now. He and Ann are wonderful and good friends, so I appreciate what he wrote.
Yeah, thank you, Grant, for providing that message for David and Lynn. And with that, we're going to bring in a few extra folks here as we're going to continue this celebration of David and Lynn Joyce and David's retirement coming up, as Juan Mascaro has entered the building along with Miranda Nash.
Getting worried.
Let me remind Juan and Miranda, I'm still the president, and I still sign their contract. So be careful what you say.
Yeah, no doubt. Juan, great to have you here. You know, you're part of the senior leadership team here at Brevard College, the CFO, but also head women's soccer coach. So certainly a regular here on Tornado Talk, but, a different occasion, a special edition here tonight, Juan. You have some words for David and Lynn.
Oh, Phil, first, thank you for having us. And if I have words, I mean, I could probably take up the whole hour and a half. But in a nutshell, I want to say that, working for David has really been the pinnacle of my career, of my, 25 plus years in college athletics and in college administration. Just working with him and working for him has been really personally the pinnacle of my career, and what he and Lynn have done for the college, there's no words to describe it. I mean, they took a struggling little school and made it into a thriving little school, which what that tells you is that we can still be small but be thriving. And it really took somebody with the vision and the conviction that it could be done. And that is what David and Lynn have brought to the table for the last 10 years is that vision and that conviction that it can be done. And it certainly, we were able to do it. I mean, 10 years after, you see the campus, you see the school. I mean, there's not one area of the college that has not been improved. I mean, there's not one area of the town. I would really add also the town of Brevard. What the college has been able to do for the town. So it's been remarkable, and it's been amazing. And he's a mentor, and we're going to miss him. But I think that the college is in good hands. I think the board and the whole process of hiring the new president was very good, and I think they found the right person. And I think I'm excited for the future.
Well, Juan, I appreciate what you said, and you know that it takes a village, and it certainly takes a senior team. And one thing that Brad's going to inherit is the best senior team I've ever worked with. And you give us you give Lynn a lot of credit, and I'll take credit for putting you in that role. But you have done an amazing job, and I know, and you let Miranda get away, and then you got her back, and that was probably one of your greatest achievements. So
yes,
it does. It takes folks working together to make it work.
Yeah, we had to let her go learn some new things for a couple of years before,
Like,
bringing her
like
back.
us, she had to freeze a little bit out
Yeah.
in the upper Midwest, but we always come home, right, Miranda?
Absolutely.
Well, right on cue, Miranda Nash, Director of Athletics. Miranda, floor is yours.
Yeah, I'm glad I'm with Juan because he did a really good job laying that out. No, Brevard was always home for me, and coming back and being able to work under you was always a pleasure. I think that I've caused you a lot of grief in the 3 years that I've been back, and you've just always supported us. I really appreciate it.
David, I know these two have just been a huge part of your team here at Brevard College.
Oh, absolutely. And they tell me the truth. They keep me informed. They make good recommendations. I listen to what they do. I involve them in every aspect as it regards to athletics. And I hope, I know they get my back. I hope they see that I get their back as well. Oh no, more coaches, soccer coaches.
That's right. The soccer coaches have entered the building. Well, Juan Senior and Miranda, we're going to go ahead and let you two go because we've got a lot more guests to get to, but really appreciate you stopping by. Juan, before we let you go, and also Miranda, final word for David and Lynn.
They're not retiring. They're just going to go 2 blocks down the road. So I don't believe in goodbyes. I believe in see you soon. So I'll be over to your house quite often, and we'll see you around. And you're always going to be in our hearts, and
Thank
you
you.
mean a lot to us.
And Miranda, don't take us out of the gym if we yell at the refs or if I yell at the refs. Okay.
I won't. I'll just look at you funny. Yeah, we'll keep you on our gear list. It's always see you later.
Oh yeah.
Very good. Juan Mascaro Sr. and Miranda Nash, part of that leadership team for David Joyce. Thank you, Miranda and Juan, for joining the program. See you soon.
See ya.
See y'all.
All right. And joined now by the men's soccer coaching staff, Coach L. Dana and also Coach Juan Mascaro Jr. Coach Dana, let's start with you. I know, your friendship goes back quite a ways with David and Lynn, and love to hear, your sentiments as we head towards David's retirement at the end of this year.
Yeah, I said this before. We started working together in the 90s. I don't even know which year. And so it's been more than 25 years.
96, but who's counting now?
So, there's been many funny stories, many. We went through some sad ones too. You guys know that. And the good news is, I have some funny stories that I would share, but I'm not gonna because he's got some funny ones on me and Debbie. So we're gonna make a pact right now, and we're gonna keep it to ourselves. But
I was about to say, you tell one on me, I'll tell 2 on you.
But the bottom line is this: it has been a full cycle. I owe a lot of any success I may have ever had to these guys, and it's been a great friendship, and I had the pleasure to even invite them to my home country. My family loves these guys, and I'm just glad that we're still going to keep close together and be able to visit with each other.
Thank you, Ellen. And I don't know, but I probably ought to say this. Yes, we got to go to your home country, and we had a great time, and I fell in love with Ponte Acacia. But I also discovered that I thought we were going on vacation for those 10 days. We spent 9.5 of them recruiting. That's right. That's the reason why our team's grown so well. And there's this other guy over next to your assistant coach. I may or may not have performed his wedding. I'm responsible for him and Angie. So I just want to get ahead of it before he says it.
Yeah, Juan Mascaro Jr., associate head coach and also head coach of the reserves team. Juan, the floor is yours.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we couldn't have chosen anybody else to officiate my wedding, and that was really special because when I was a student, obviously David was the president. So, he's responsible for my education and kind of the scholar that I was, and now the professional that I am. And he's just done incredible things for our little school, and we'll always be really appreciative of everything he's done for us. And like Juan Sr. said, we'll see him around, and we're excited for you to come to the games and heckle the referees a little bit when we can't. So I'm really excited to see you out there, and like you said, he officiated my wedding, and that was a really, really special really, really special for me, just because, he's, like I said, he's done so much for us. And, it's kind of, words can't really describe what David and Lynn have done for our little community. And, we're sad to see him go, but they're down the road, and we're excited to have him over, and hopefully we'll win some more soccer games for him.
Thank you, Juan. It was been fun to watch you as a player and how hard you worked, and to watch you develop as both a coach and an academic, and go through what you've gone through. And it's really neat to see you and Elle working together, because you're a good coach. You're going to be a great coach, and you have a mentor in your head coach who can help make that happen. So it's just fun to watch you guys work together, and to think that we've known one for 25 years and we've known another one for 10. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Juan Jr., alumnus of Brevard College. So kind of a different perspective, compared to many of us who work within the athletic department. You were here as a student under David as well.
Yeah, I was a first year, I think his first year as well as president. And I vividly remember one time I didn't know who he was at the time, but I used to have to ride my bike from work. So I rode my bike from campus to downtown, because I worked in a little shop in downtown. And this stranger comes up to me and he says, "If I get you a helmet, will you wear it?" And I said, "Yeah, absolutely." I was like, "Yeah, sure." And then later on, I found out that he was the president of the college, and I don't think a lot of people, or a lot of people in that position, would do that for a random student. So that was something that'll stay with me forever.
Oh, thank you, Juan. I'm known as a helmet Nazi. I want to make sure that you're here to be able to coach and finish your degree. So if you ride your bike, wear your helmet. I've given away a number of helmets.
Coach Aldana, before we let you go, some final words for David and Lynn?
I don't like the final words kind of thing. I just want to say that I thank you. I look forward to what's next for you guys, and I'm so happy to continue calling you guys friends. Debbie thinks the world of you. She's right behind me here saying the same, and you guys deserve to enjoy a very, very happy next chapter of your life.
As long as you take us to Brazil, Elle, we'll be okay.
Deal.
Very good. Well, men's soccer coaches, Coach Aldana and Juan Mascar Jr., thanks for checking us out here for this special edition of Tornado Talk, and appreciate your words for David and Lynn. We'll let the two of you go, and we're going to shift gears as we've got two more coaches here. Head coach Daryl Patrick from cross country and track and field, and also head volleyball coach Anna Grant. Coach Patrick, let's start with you. I know you are diehard Tornado through and through. You're running those trails here in Pisgah, but also enjoying that Frank Patton track as well. I'd love to hear your sentiments towards David and Lynn.
Yeah. First, I just want to say congratulations on your retirement. You two, I'm super excited. I hope to see you all around. Make sure you all are hiking the trails and join our teams if you want. I just can't say enough about their leadership. I've been here for completing 3 years now, and I've never been a part of something that a leader is always there supporting every single game, every single event that's going on. Like, they're there. And that just means a lot to me. That means you really care about the whole college in general. So I just want to say congrats, and I appreciate everything you've done for us. And I just can't wait to see you all around.
Daryl, we really appreciate that. Brevard has a long – I've been around North Carolina a long time, and Brevard has a long history of running and runners and doing very, very well. So you inherited a long historical program, a successful program. And I know, and I've watched you, we've got the right leader at the right time to win some more national recognition. So wish you best of luck. And yes, we're very excited to see you.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Also with us, head volleyball coach Anna Grant. Coach Grant, the floor is yours. I wanted Coach Grant. There you go. You got it.
Sorry about that.
Good
to see you guys. Being a first-year head coach and only in my third year of coaching at the college level, I didn't really know what to expect from the president and first lady. And, I went to Appalachian State my last 2 years, and I remember that it was Peacock at the time, and, he was involved, but, I could pick him out, but I know that was kind of a unique experience up at Appalachian, but, and a story that I haven't told very many people because it's kind of embarrassing on my end, but one of my first few days at Brevard, I ran into you guys at the coffee shop and you said, "Hey, Anna, how's it going? How's the team looking?" And I just thought you guys were just Brevard citizens, just enjoying the coffee shop. And, it was a couple days later at some event, and I was like, that would be the president of the college. I should probably have known that. But, that kind of inspired me to always speak to, people that are around and just say, "Hey, how's it going? Good day." And just like putting yourself out there and extending a warm welcome. And I think that, epitomizes what you guys have done just as people in the campus, on the community. It's just, it was never something where I didn't feel like we could approach you or anything like that. And you guys just have always been warm and welcoming in that sense. So definitely thank you for that. And, just, being involved in caring about my pregnancies, my child. And I don't know if you remember, but also letting me borrow vases for my wedding. And so, just very involved at a personal level. And I just can't say how much that means to me. And in my years as the head coach here, it's just, nice to know that the president cares about athletics, but also about specific coaches and the volleyball team itself. So just, can't thank you guys enough for that and all the other things you do for every aspect of the college.
Thank you, Anna. And it's been amazing to see, you've been here 3 years, 2 of them behind masks and closed doors where we can't really go and couldn't go and see what's going on. But what you've done in that program in the midst of COVID is absolutely nothing short of amazing. So we really appreciate you, your hard work, your great recruiting, and what you've done for that program. And we'll be back. We'll be back.
Great.
It's always exciting to see the games on the matches on campus.
Yeah. Thanks.
Yeah. Very good. So head cross country and track and field coach Daryl Patrick and head volleyball coach Anna Grant. Thank you very much for joining this program this evening. Best of luck moving forward. Thanks again for joining the show.
Absolutely. Have a good evening, you guys. Enjoy.
Thanks again. You guys are awesome.
All right. So we will shift gears. Cycling, literally and figuratively. As we've got cycling coaches Brad Purley and Cypress Gorey in the house. We also have climbing coach Dan Horn. So kind of going outside the realm of NCAA and instead USA Cycling, USA Climbing side of things. Coach Purley, let's start with you. A celebration of David and Lynn Joyce as we near David's retirement on December 31st of this year. When you see these two and you reflect back on your time here at Brevard College, what comes to mind, Coach Purley?
Really, on behalf of myself and the whole cycling team, we certainly just want to wish you both the best in retirement. I'm sure that's a lot of mixed emotions on your end right now, but I'm sure you're very much ready for a little change in pace and hopefully a little slower pace and a lot more relaxing coming down the road for you both.
Not relaxing, more mountain biking.
All right. It is relaxing in some ways. No, so we just want to thank you for, the leadership on campus. And it's very evident that, you both care very much about the students and the experience. And again, like you had mentioned a minute ago, the last portion of your career has certainly been trying, to say the least, I'm sure, with all this COVID and all the different things happening. But, it's great that the students, every one of our students in our program and all these other programs as well, they can, they know exactly who you both are. They see you on campus. Oftentimes, they're coming to us saying, "Oh, we saw, either one of you, we were heading out for a ride. They asked us where we were going, asked us how it was. Congratulations, from you both to the students on their race performances and really all the above." So that stuff really goes a long way. Certainly makes it easier for us and a lot more enjoyable experience for us to work here under that in that environment. So we certainly wish you nothing but the best, and certainly hope to continue to see you around. And sort of like Daryl said, I won't be running the trails, but hopefully we see each other riding the trails instead.
Yeah, thank you, Brad. And we've been known to ride with Tyler Herschel before, but we got tired of him waiting on us. So we'll just hang on our own. It's pretty good. He does some crazy stuff.
Fair enough.
I'll tell a quick story because that's what I like to do. Lynn and I were out in Utah at where was it? Oh, Park City to go mountain biking, and we decided to hire a guide to take us way back in the woods. And while we were at the bike shop hiring a guide, this other person in his road kit with dreads down to here was and I called you and said, any chance that Cypress is in Utah? And you said, yeah, he was good, but he was in and out. I mean, he never slows down.
I forgot about that. Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah.
I hadn't forgot about it. And, every time I look at Cypress now, I go, man, I miss the dreads because at least he sticks out. But I know he's a great assistant coach, and he was certainly Cypress. You're certainly an awesome rider for us, and it was fun, to be in Utah and run into some of our riders. And we went to another before when you were still here before Cypress. I think we went to the road championships in Utah, and that was fascinating too to watch. I mean, road, you'd stand there and they take off and you wait a while longer and they come back in. But it was still exciting to see, and we did really, really well there. And then, of course, in the Asheville Nationals, we kicked, how do you say, our son-in-law's French, we kicked derrieres. And so that was exciting. This program has helped put this college on the map. Nobody says Brevard anymore. They say Brevard, and a lot of that's because of what you guys have done.
That's true.
Congratulations on your latest.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, we're extremely proud of him. Certainly, couldn't do it without the support of the community. Cypress is, the best, one of the best coaches out there, period.
Yeah, we're going to celebrate. We got that set up because we couldn't be here when you got back. We were out of town, but we're going to celebrate. And do, you guys went to Durango, the epicenter of mountain biking in the country, second only to Pisgah and DuPont in the East, and made your presence known in the backyard of a school that shall not be named, the Voldemort School. But you made us proud, and we were very, very excited. We watched it online. We watched how you guys were doing, and we were just thoroughly blown away.
Thank you. Yeah, we're extremely proud of them. Yeah,
you should be.
Cypress Gorey, assistant cycling coach, and also an alumnus of Brevard College. Coach Gorey, I know you go back with these two, both riding, but also as a student and now as a coach.
Yeah, well, I think a little bit of my thunder was stolen there. That was actually a bit of the story I was gonna share. I think that was the summer of my freshman year, following my freshman year, and one of my earlier memories of David and Lynn and their support of the cycling team. I remember being in Utah training and getting a call and thinking, oh wow, it's pretty impressive to have the president of the school kind of take some time out of their vacation and check in on how a student's doing, and talking to other students at the time and students on the team now. That hasn't really changed at all. There's really a lot of genuine care to how the students' lives are going on an individual basis. And that's, I think, really unique and really cool to see. So we really appreciate that. And throughout the years, so much support of the cycling team. And it's really been awesome to have you guys. And I know you're not going too far, so I'm sure we'll see you out on the trails, maybe even more so with extra time on your hands.
Yeah, we may or may not be there on Saturday or Sunday to watch you guys get muddy and cold and bruised and everything else inside.
Yeah. Maybe not a muddy edition this year, but probably all these other days.
Twice. I was smart enough I tried it twice and realized this is not a sport for participants. It's a sport for spectators. So
Yep.
That's right. Cyclocross, the discipline that's happening now in the winter months here for Brevard College cycling. Well, Coach Brad Purley, Coach Cypress Gorey, appreciate you joining the program and giving your well wishes to David and Lynn.
Thank
you. Congratulations.
Thank you, guys. It means a lot.
All right, and joined now by Coach Dan Horn of the climbing program. Coach Horn, I know you have a message for David and Lynn as well.
You're muted.
Coach Horn, check your mute button there. There you go.
I just want to say on behalf of myself, the assistant coaches of the climbing team and the rest of the climbing team, congratulations on your retirement. And we hope that we see you around on the trails out in the forest. I'm sure we will. I've only had the opportunity, the privilege to sit down and speak with you once, David. I think I was meeting with a potential recruit. but you sat down, you introduced yourself, and you were very kind and caring, and you expressed a genuine interest not only in the climbing program but in myself. And my interactions in the 2 years that I've been coaching the Brevard College climbing team, I've seen that time and time again with staff, with students, with everybody I meet. And I know that those qualities are something that trickle down from the top. And so I thank you for fostering that kind of environment at the school.
Well, thank you, Dan. You know, it has been difficult. You came right in the middle of COVID. You know, we can't really go and watch, but you're coach of our newest sport. And we're looking for great things. One of the things that puts us on the map is some of the unique sports that we have. And you're part of the latest one. And I hope that and I know that you'll do well. And I hope you stay with us a long time, and let's get that program really up and going like it needs to be. And our students that are climbers are extremely passionate. We have lunch with a couple of them all the time, and that's all they want to talk about is rock climbing. And I admire what you do, and I admire the sport, but I also have tried it once, and you have to be a good athlete.
Yes, it's not for everybody.
That's for sure.
Very good. Well, Coach Dan Horn, thank you for joining the program. Really appreciate that. Look forward to seeing you over at the Brevard Rock Gym. Thanks for joining the show.
Thank you, Dan.
Thanks, Dan.
All right. And now the members of the football coaching staff have arrived. Head coach Bill Kyatt. Coach Kyatt, we'll start with you. The celebration of David and Lynn Joyce. The floor is yours.
Well, first, I just want to start with sincere gratitude for the distinguished leadership the two of you have provided for the football program. You think about it, our journey began in December of 2016. And I'll never forget getting in that golf cart, all right, with Juan after you instructed him to take me on a little tour of the campus. And one of the first stops was the grass fields. Okay, I call them grass fields because that's what they were technically supposed to be. However, there was far more dirt than there was grass at the time. And now we have what could truly be a fairway somewhere on a PGA tour. So that was the first change, was to give the players somewhere to hone their craft. Then I went to the duplex where the coaches' offices were. Okay, obviously former living quarters. And let's see how we can make do with an area for coaches to get the work done. And we did. We made do, and now we have a place that is state of the art where coaches can now evaluate opponents, mentor the players as they come in, watch film, and really work to the best of their ability because of the tools provided under your leadership. Now let's think about the players and where they prepared for practice. Okay. The bar didn't quite look the way it does now. So although spacious, really what you call like the work triangle when you're talking about being in a kitchen. So the work triangle, we have a practice field at one end, a barn at another. We got coaches in a whole nother direction. So I know we have a small, quaint, beautiful campus, but all that walking does get a little tiresome at times. So now we have truly an incredible space for the kids to call home, their locker room. And that's just wonderful for them. The excitement in their eyes every time they walk in there. Extremely grateful for that. Then you think about the first 30 games we played since the staff's arrival were all away. 30 away games. So even though it was only a hop, skip, and a jump over to the high school, nevertheless, the kids had to pack a bag, drive over, put their stuff down in a locker with a name behind them that they don't know, and it just wasn't home to them. Spring of 2021 rolls around after the promises made, and you certainly did deliver. And just for the record, 71-17 was the point differential in the spring, our first time at home. Our last 3 games this fall, point differential 78-6. So to
They
say,
get those sticks, Bill.
I'm going to blame the drum line on this last game.
Yeah,
But to say that it's truly a magical place would really, I mean, I think that you know the vibe, you've been there to understand it. And with all of this, okay, and just the other day, Jenny and I were walking on campus, and just as we were walking in between the track and the football field, she grabbed my arm and stopped me and said, "Honey, just look around." And I did. And we literally looked in a 360 at what the campus looked like. So in just the 5 short years that I've spent with you, the transition from what it looked like then to what it looked like now, there were a whole lot of promises made and a whole lot of delivery. And for that, I mean, she was just taken back by just the beauty of everything, and just the fact that everything that you said you would do, you did. And just a wonderful place to be. It was almost like we had some chills, running through our body, because it was really everything that we hoped and dreamed that it would become. And obviously that all stems from the top. Without the great leadership, it wouldn't be there. So now that's how we've gone from the 17 players that were handed to me in 2017. And now we got this roster of 140. And so you really did wonderful things to help the student experience, which is what Division III is all about. And that's why I have Coach Josh Romero with me on the show, so he can speak to the things that would fall under the student experience part for everything that you did for this program.
Hey, Bill, I want to remind you that when you came on campus and we were looking for, you were our first Division III coach. We had a number of people apply, and you stood out. And I remember Lynn, I'll tell you what she said. She said, "Do you think he'll stay?" I said, "He promised he would. We need somebody to turn this program, make this program hit the map." And you give us credit for a lot of work that you have done, a lot, and your staff. But you said that you would turn this program around, and you have. You stuck it out. You've done it. And look, you got 17 players, and I don't know what, 146 this year.
That's
and
right.
And look what that program has done. And to have tailgating, it just means to have that program and everything happening in the center of campus. We sit there and we look at the residence halls across, the stands full of fans, and the excitement of the last game. I mean, the last game was the most exciting game, except for Carnegie Mellon, that we have seen since we've been on this campus. Yes, I was going to say that. I should have put my ring on. Lynn wears hers, but it weighs her hand down. And we sat in front of Jenny at this game, and my ears are still ringing, but I think it helps. And she has some funky little thing that she holds up and invokes some kind of karma on that.
Mm-hmm.
And,
it was good karma.
I can't give away all the trade secrets, though.
Yeah,
I don't give it.
No, I'm saying it was great karma. That was an exciting day. That was thank you for the teams that you've built and the coaching staff that you've mentored, and you've done. I hope you stay here a long, long time and make this and just continue to put us on the map, Bill.
Well, we also have with us assistant coach Josh Romero, who Brevard College alumnus as well. Coach Romero, floor is yours.
Yes, thank you for having me. I just want to thank you guys for all the support system you have given this football program, honestly, since I arrived here 4 or 5 years ago. Just seeing you guys a lot of home games, just seeing you guys and a lot of event really, really means a lot. Like, let's say actions speak louder than words. So just, I see you guys in 4 or 5 years, like 40 plus games. I see you guys around a lot, and that really means a lot. Also, you guys did a lot of things that went above and beyond, like the ice cream social nights, the steak dinners, especially the steak dinner this past August. Oh my, that was one of the best play I had this year so far.
Great, Josh. Now everybody else is going to want one.
Exactly. Yeah. So that really means a lot to us. And you mentioned the tailgating. Oh man, that made a huge difference in the atmosphere, the vibe, the energy, and the home games, especially when the players come out, walking to the blow up helmet, just walking to the tailgating. That's really, really huge for families and recruits. The tailgate really made a huge impact ever since we started tailgating. So really thank you for that. Also, just want to say thank you for your investment to the ECAC, back in 2019, give us the opportunity to go to the bowl game, Scotty Whitelock Bowl. That was huge for me, for coaching staff, the football program, especially for me. It was my senior year, just an extra opportunity to play another game. It was really huge. So thank you. That really means a lot. And also, I just want to wrap it up with, I had a great time when we went out to California for our student immersion program. So you took me out to dinner a couple times out there, and I just want to say thank you for that too. And Lynn and the dog Pisca.
There you go.
Yeah. Well, I have to say, Josh, real quick, I want to tell the quick story. When Josh was a freshman, and I always gave the little welcome to all the students, I said, okay, why are you here? And Josh raised his hand, and then I said, you stand up. What? And I said, why are you here? He said, I want to get my degree. I came here for a degree. And I said, what's your name? You said, Josh Romero. And what did I say to you, Josh?
You say, you get that degree.
You'll get that degree and you're going places. And guess what? You haven't gone any place yet. You're in heaven, but you have shown that you've shown your grit, and you've shown your intelligence, and you've shown your work ethic. And we're glad that you're one of our coaches, Josh. You were the first freshman I got to know 5 years ago, and I've appreciated the relationship ever since.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Very good. Football coaches Bill Kyatt and also Josh Romero, thank you for joining this special edition of Tornado Talk. And congrats again on that big win over the weekend.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Thank you so much, and looking forward to seeing you around.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So we will go from the gridiron to the hardwood now, as Coach Lee Burgess and also Miles Leathers have entered the building. Men's basketball in the house. Coach Burgess, we'll get started with you.
Yeah, anytime I call Dr. Joyce, he says, call me David. And I'm going to continue to call him Dr. Joyce.
I'm going to continue to remind you to call me David. So
you can blame my father, for just that formality that I just can't break that habit. But from our program, we constantly see you, at our games, and I know enough to know that is not normal everywhere. And that is so much appreciated. More what I'm going to say is it's more on a personal level. I mean, you got here, I believe it was January of 2012, I think, and I got here in May of 2012. Mm-hmm. So this is my 10th year, and you guys are all I know as the president and the first lady. And so not having that relationship is going to be different. Knowing that I can, I've got your cell phone number and can pick it up and call you if I ever need you, or just go up to your office and say, hey, can we meet? And you'll take the meeting. Again, that's not normal everywhere. And so I just want you to know how much appreciated it is. I know the last few years in leadership, just with the men's basketball program, has been challenging with COVID. I can't imagine having to lead a large organization like a university or a college or any large organization. So I know leadership has been really, really hard. And both of you have done it so extremely well. And because of that, the school is where it is right now, coming on the backside of what's been a challenging time. So just want to say thank you from me. Thank you from the men's basketball program. We're going to miss you, but glad you're not going far away, and that we'll continue to be able to see you.
Well, Lee, since thank you, and since I won't be the president anymore, you may feel more comfortable just calling me David. And I said earlier, I don't know if you saw it, but I said one of the things I'm looking forward to, Lynn and I are looking forward to, is coming to games as civilians. And you can say that coming from a military family, me too. You and I are both military brats. But at least now I can yell at the refs in that nice gym and not worry about getting ejected as the president and embarrassing the school. So I'm excited. Last game that we had, oh God, that was a great game. I thought I was watching Miles almost cut flips, and then last moment we just got to push it over the edge.
Yep.
And I know you're the only coach that stuck with us from Division II to Division III, and that means a lot to me personally, and it means a lot to the college. You have the experience, the transition, and that was a hard transition. I mean, as we were losing players and trying to pick up others and couldn't give them scholarships, and still in Division II. You're a coach with class. I always know that whatever you do, it's going to be classy, and it's going to be for the best benefit of our athletes. And that's why you're an associate AD as well. And congratulations, Lee. We're looking forward to a long and improving season.
Thank you. Thank
And
you.
I'm glad you got Miles. He's a character. We love him.
Absolutely. We're fortunate to have him. I know he wants to say a few words, but we are so fortunate to have him in the program. Anytime you can have a former player and an alum in the program like that, it is awesome. And everything we do, we want to represent the program and the school in the right way. And having somebody like Miles on the bench certainly helps us do that.
Perfect
And he looks good in
segue.
the suit.
Assistant coach Miles Leathers, the floor is yours.
Yeah, I can pretty much just echo everything that Coach Burgess just said. You guys have been great. Been great for the institution, great for the community. Obviously, when I got here in 2012, I'm just a kid. I'm just trying to find my way, and Brevard, and it's just been a special place for me. It's been a special place for just everybody that comes through the community, whoever comes through the program and all. So, I'm extremely fortunate. I'm extremely thankful for you guys. Obviously, definitely want you to continue to support, to continue to come to the games, and we're gonna make you proud. We're gonna make the community proud. We're gonna make the institution proud. So, thank you so much, and best of luck throughout your retirement. And thank you so much.
Thank you, Miles, and thank you for hanging with us and
coming back.
Coming back. We're excited that you're here. Like I said earlier, it's good to see you in a suit. I don't have to wear. I'm not wearing one, but you look pretty classy.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I try to clean up a little bit.
You got 3 graduates all along the bottom row.
Oh, I
there.
love that. That's right. And Donald, I said that Lee's the only one that stuck with us to Division 2 to 3. I was wrong. You were the other one. And our basketball program stuck with us. And
yes, sir. Men's and women's basketball hanging in there
all the way.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. We'll let Coach Burgess and Coach Leathers go, and we'll go to the women's basketball side.
We appreciate you guys. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you for your words.
So Coach Hudson, head women's basketball coach, and as Lynn mentioned, also an alum, kind of a theme we've got going here. These alumni presence of Brevard College. Coach Hudson, words for David and Lynn.
Yes, absolutely. Thanks for having me on, Phil. Thanks for organizing this and giving us the opportunity to give some thanks to President Joyce and First Lady Lynn. Brevard means a lot to me. I graduated from here back in 2011, and I haven't left the place. And so everything that you guys have done over the last 10 years, thank you for it. We appreciate it, not just from an athletic standpoint, but just from the campus. Like Bill was kind of talking about, things look totally different now. Like I have a ton of friends and classmates that I went to school with that come back and see things now, and they're surprised at how good the campus looks. And I think that goes to you. Appreciate you on delivering on all your promises, and everything going forward. We're going to try to honor everything that you all have done. I was always told when you go somewhere, you want to leave it better than you found it. And I think you two have definitely done that, 100%. We're going to try to keep everything going. We're going to miss you all sitting behind the bench at all the games. So from women's basketball, from the athletics program, thank y'all so much. Appreciate it. Hope to see y'all at games, and good luck with your retirement. Thanks once again.
We'll be there, Donald. And I like to. I'm going to just remind you too that when we first met you, you had dreads as well.
Yeah.
And the first time I saw you got the dreads, I thought, oh, I like the dreads. But now that you're a dad, you got to kind of set an example.
Yes, sir.
Up a bit. So, but we're excited, and yes, we'll be behind the bench. We might even be sitting closer to the bench now because we can blend in a little better.
Yeah, that's perfectly fine. That's perfectly
Yeah, you
fine.
were one of those legends, Donald. When we came on campus, everybody talked about Donald Hudson. Donald Hudson.
True.
And on the football field and on the basketball court. So you've lived up to that reputation.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that.
You built one hell of a program too, Donald, and we're very excited.
I appreciate that.
And
Thank
congratulations on your win against Berry.
Ooh, I wish we were in there though. I wish we
Thank
were in
you.
there.
It was a
That's
good
a
one.
long
It was a good one
drive.
to be a part of.
Halfway.
Yeah, it was a long way. Very high up on the mountain as well.
No, tomorrow.
Tomorrow night we have Bob Jones coming to town, 6:00.
That's right.
We'll send them home packing.
Yeah,
that's the plan. Yes, ma'am. That's the plan.
Also from women's basketball, Anna Lee Bollinger, also a alum of Brevard College. Coach Bollinger, floor is yours.
And a standout player, very much a standout player.
I appreciate you, Dr. Joyce. Coach Hudson is a hard guy to follow in this, but quick story. I'll make it really quick. On my visit here, I was just in the CAF getting some lunch with Coach Hudson and Coach Reed, And this guy just starts talking to me while I'm getting my food. And I'm like, I don't even know this guy. But I'm like, we're chatting it up. It's cool. Go to lunch. Well, next year, I come to Brevard as a sophomore. I transfer in. And I'm going to my basketball game. And this guy starts talking to me again. And someone's like, you know him? I'm like, oh, yeah, I met him on my visit. And it was Dr. Joyce. Like we were chatting as I was a recruit. And then I met him at my basketball game. And I think that just goes to show the type of people that Dr. Joyce and Lynn are, because they just chat with anybody. And they made this experience for me feel like home from 2016 to 2021. And I'm so excited to be back. And like everyone else has said, the campus looks amazing. It's so different. It's so great to bring recruits here and be like, when I was here in 2016, we didn't have that. You should be thankful for this. This looks incredible. But I just think you guys are amazing people. My parents and my family talks about you guys at the games all the time, about how great you are. And a lot of schools don't have the support that you guys have given out, and it's special. And we appreciate you. Women's basketball appreciates you, and the campus will sorely miss you. I hope you have an incredible retirement and really enjoy your time off.
Thank you.
Well, Anna Lee, we watched you. You were a standout athlete in women's basketball, and under Donald's leadership, you're going to be a standout coach. So we're
absolutely
we're not stop watching you. We're going to be there, and we're going to be pulling, and we know that you're going to do well. You're learning from the best, and you performed as one of our best athletes in when you were a student. So congratulations.
Thanks, Dr. Joyce.
And student as well.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Donald Hudson and Annalee Bollinger from women's basketball. We'll see you at the Bosch tomorrow night versus Bob Jones. See you there. Thanks for joining the show.
See y'all. Good night.
Now we'll shift over to lacrosse and join now in the bottom left corner, women's lacrosse head coach Kristen Rosado, and also the newest addition to the athletic department, men's lacrosse head coach JD LeMay. Coach Rosado, the floor is yours.
Yeah, I mean, I think everyone said it over and over again already. You know, y'all support around campus and your visibility around campus is unmatched. From the CAF, you know, seeing you guys in there having lunch with kids, having kids over to your house around the holidays, or being on the sideline at a game. I mean, honestly, it's huge. It's huge for the coaches to feel that support. But also for our athletes, you know, and, you know, on recruiting visits for you guys to stop and chat with them. I mean, it's so big for us, and something that I hope the new president really takes note of. They have really big shoes to fill in that department. So definitely thank you for that. And just like everyone else has also said, I mean, just to look around this campus, I've been here 8 years, and you know, playing on a mud pit on the track to now playing in that beautiful turf, and you know, with those stands, and you know, walking in our locker room, and there's a lot to be really prideful about and really proud about. And so I know your impact is definitely going to be felt for a very, very long time. So just thank you.
Well, thank you so much. And you know, one of the neat things is that we were thinking about adding lacrosse to the campus because it was one of the sports that was growing, and it's an exciting sport. And we had a donor come in, and we were talking to him about it, and he said, well, how much is it going to cost to get started? And I was sitting with Juan, he was the AD at the time, and I don't know how much. And Juan looked at me and said, $15,000. And he ripped out a check and wrote it for $15,000 to start men and women's lacrosse. And later on, we both looked at him and said, oh, we should have asked for $50,000, not $15,000. Right. Started on a shoestring, and you know, you've hung with the program, and its popularity, and it's on the center of campus. It just gets better and better. It's an exciting sport, and I'm looking forward to the spring because I have more time. You guys played during the middle of the day, and a lot of times, and it's just hard. So I'm going to have more time to come and watch, and we're looking forward to that. To men and women's lacrosse, and JD, we're looking forward to hearing how and seeing how you build that program.
Yeah, JD LeMay, the new heads men's lacrosse coach here at Brevard College. Coach LeMay, really appreciate you joining this program, you know, just in your first couple weeks on the job. Love to hear your sentiments towards, you know, David and Lynn Joyce.
No, of course. I appreciate you guys having me on. Again, like you said, it's only my second week here on campus, but everything I've heard that you guys have done around campus is awesome and amazing. And I wish I had the opportunity to work with you guys a little bit longer than what we have going on here. But like I said, I mean, I hear nothing but good things about what you guys have done for this campus and you guys as people. And Like you said, hopefully you guys can get out and watch some games this spring. I mean, right now we have slated 9 home games, which is probably more than the lacrosse program has had in the past. So trying to build this program back up and have as many fans as we can out to support and get Brevard back on the list for lacrosse. And again, appreciate your guys' support for everything you guys have done starting the lacrosse program here. I've heard about Brevard from when I went to college and things like that, and I've only heard good things. So I'm looking to continue that success and hopefully bring a good name to Brevard and continue moving forward. And wish you guys best of luck in retirement. And hopefully you guys stick around long enough to, again, catch a few games in the spring.
I promise you, JD, we will. We love watching lacrosse. Don't understand it real well. I know it's sort of hockey and some other things thrown in there, but we know enough to and we love to watch it. It's a fast, high-scoring sport. So we're looking forward. We really hope that you stay here and build the program because we've lacked that opportunity. Coaches have been just turning over in the men's lacrosse area. So we hope that you do exactly what you hope to do. And we'll be right there.
Cool, and I appreciate everything that you guys have done. And I did get a chance to meet you when I was out here for my interview, and I enjoyed it. I mean, we ran into each other a few times, probably more than I had liked to, especially on an interview. But I think it was a good thing to probably run into the president at the time. But again, I enjoy hearing what I've heard about you guys over the last 2 weeks, and wish you guys best in retirement.
Thank you, JD.
Thanks, Kristen.
And thank Kristen.
Very good. Head women's lacrosse coach Kristen Rosado, head men's lacrosse coach JD LeMay. We're going to let the two of you exit stage right. And meanwhile, we've got head men's and women's tennis coach Brad Jones and also head baseball coach Mike Victory in the building. Coach Jones, the floor is yours.
Yeah, I just want to say thank you for everything you've done for the Brevard community and Brevard College. Congratulations on a successful career at all 3 schools you've been, but most importantly, the 10 years you were at Brevard College. We look forward for you and Lynn to staying on campus, staying in the area, and we look forward to you being at our events, tennis matches and other athletic events and everything. So like everybody said, you're a president that, your strong leadership and just how approachable and, comfortable people feel when they're around you. And that's one thing that I noticed when I first met you. I believe it was at the golf tournament, at the golf tournament, we sat and talked. And then, and then when we were in Orlando, my first year, we were in our last match before COVID hit. And we had somebody just come and say, "Oh, Brevard College. I know the Joyces." And, and it just awed my kids. You're like, holy cow, we're in Florida and they know the Joyces. And it's like, yeah, yes, we're a small college, but once you graduate, Brevard's a big world out there. So, you never know who you're going to run into and who you're going to meet. So congratulations and thank you. And we definitely look forward to seeing you around campus in the future.
Thank you, Brad. And you're doing a great job with the tennis program. We've come to a couple matches, at least partially. And usually I bring my dog, but when I do, she sees the ball bouncing and she's trying to figure out how. And there was a time that one of your players did kind of flip one over the, but I won't tell you who that was but I know, and made Pisco a very happy puppy.
Hey, that's all right. We got plenty of them, so feel free to come by and get more of them when you can.
Very good. Head men's and women's tennis coach Brad Jones. Appreciate you joining the show. Also with us, head baseball coach Mike Victory. All yours, Coach Victory.
Oh, glad to be here. I mean, it's repeating a lot of the things that have been said. All the thanks and for your leadership and congratulations. For me, it's always been the passion for Brevard that is shown through. And when you get to stop in and talk to visitors on campus, it sticks with them that the president of the college has stopped to speak with them and always connect with them. I don't know how you managed to do it, but you always have some sort of degrees of separation between the visitors that are here. And it's a lasting impression that they want to be here because the leader of the entire college is proud to be here and passionate about what he does. And, our guys are excited about their locker room and, the facility is continuing to grow and they're happy to be part of NATO Nation. And, their leader always sets the tone for that.
And Mike, thank you for one thing. We walk a lot on campus, and the baseball field has never looked better than it does now. And every time I go by, you're doing something to the field or you have something, and it really makes a great impression. And yeah, we got to see some games last year. Towards the end, we'll see more. We love baseball. I played baseball until I graduated from high school, and but I was a catcher, and I got tired of getting foul balls whacking me in the head and the shins and in the thigh. But we love we're big baseball fanatics. We like to travel and see professional games, and but we're looking forward to seeing this next year and see how it goes. Now that we're out of COVID or getting out of COVID, and again, I can yell at umpires. I don't mind doing that.
Perfect. And the players love having you there. They always notice that, and it seems small, but when they know that people are taking the time to come out and watch us, especially important people around campus, they notice and they take a lot of pride in that.
They always show well, Mike. And given your last name, we expect nothing less.
It's a lot of pressure.
It's a lot of pressure.
Every day.
Lynn's dad was a baseball coach and played semi-pro until he broke his ankle. But he carried his lucky quarter. Baseball folks are so superstitious. He carried his lucky quarter until he died, and now we have his lucky quarter. What do you carry, Mike?
I got little routines. I'm just a little stitious, but I'm always carrying people with me on my hat. So
yeah, there you go. I figured baseball does that. I love it.
Appreciate that, head baseball coach Mike Victory. Also joined by head cheerleading coach Chandler Ryan and another alum of Brevard College. Coach Ryan, the floor is yours.
So I know I haven't been coaching or like at the school as faculty under you for a while, but I just remember like you coming into some of the business classes, and just I know a lot of colleges and universities, they don't have the president come in and sit and like actually lecture and everything, so that's always stuck with me. And then just seeing you out in town and you like even saying hey to me and just realizing that I did go to Brevard, it's special. So thank you,
Chandler. It's hard not to, because every time I see you, you're wearing a Brevard College paraphernalia, so it's kind of a clue.
Preach it, girl.
That's right. Preach it. And good luck. You're doing well with the cheering squad.
Mm-hmm.
It means a lot. It really does mean a lot to have that kind of support, and that kind of games just aren't the same without cheerleaders. And 10 years ago, we didn't have many or any at all sometimes, and so it means a lot.
It's a good program.
You're building a great program.
Thank you.
Appreciate that, Coach Ryan. And also joined by head softball coach Bree Sharon. Coach Sharon, floor is yours.
Hi, David and Lynn. I mean, again, everybody has said so many things that I could just touch on again. But for softball specifically, I can't thank you enough for just being like the calm in the storm that softball had to weather, because we had a few coaching turnovers as well when I got here. And my seniors, they went through it. I'll tell you that. I mean, Emily White and Brittany Frank specifically, like they're on their 6th year, and they just needed you guys to be that consistent force for them. And we got lucky that you were there and you showed up to the games. And when I got here, that was a huge part of my decision, and why I chose Brevard College was because of how passionate everyone is. And like Mike said, everyone around Brevard bleeds, kind of tornado in NATO Nation. And it's been because of you guys. So I just want to say thank you, because my team needed that so badly, and you were there for them, and that was huge for me.
We needed a coach like you, who's consistent, who's passionate, and who wants to play a classic game. And you've done that. The ladies, the women have coalesced around you, and you can tell the difference in a very short time. So we appreciate you. It is, as you point out, as all of you point out, it is leadership. And yes, I get credit, and Lynn, I get credit for work that other people do. But and it's all of you that have built a pro. I'm not embarrassed by any of our programs. We do things classy, we do things well. Even our GPA of our student athletes, and a lot of them in your programs is amazing. So your students you're keeping them in class, you're keeping them engaged, and you're keeping them to seniors. That's what it requires. We don't graduate them, we haven't done our job. And all these programs that are doing a great job at that, and that shows, and we're appreciative. Unbelievable.
Thank you. And congratulations again. I know softball loves you guys so much, and we love seeing Pisk at the games. So congratulations, and enjoy your retirement.
We're sneaking in.
Yeah.
I know, you always do. I always see you, Lynn.
Multiple
No, I know. She bruises me in basketball because I didn't play it. She did. So she says I do stupid stuff. But I did play baseball, and I do love, and we played softball, actually. Actually, I played semi-pro right out of college in softball, and it was still slow pitch. You guys sling the ball too hard. You rock.
It's going.
So I can bruise her ribs at your games.
Well, you got to love the multiple Pisgah shout outs during this program this evening. So great to see Pisgah recognized, and great to have this foursome of coaches round out the coaching portion of Tornado Talk this evening. Coach Brad Jones from tennis, Coach Mike Victory from baseball, Coach Chandler Ryan from cheerleading, and Coach Bree Sharon from softball. Thank you, coaches, for joining the program.
You guys made it special. We're overwhelmed.
Thanks.
Well, hang tight, David and Lynn, because we're going to transition yet again and bring in some of the athletic department administration as they're entering the building now. Stephanie Johnson, Lee Burgess, Miranda Nash, they're both back. Stephanie Johnson in that upper right corner. She's the assistant AD, senior woman administrator, and also the SAC advisor. Stephanie, the floor is yours.
Well, please excuse my voice. Lynn, I have to blame you because, last week you sounded like this. Now I sound like this.
I know. Share alike.
We got our cough drops.
From deep down in my heart, you two have been amazing since the day I stepped foot on campus. You have accepted me with open arms. I appreciate y'all so much, and I love you guys. And I know I'm going to see y'all around, but no matter where I go, I know I won't be at Brevard forever, even though I love Brevard and I bleed blue. I know that I will always talk to you guys and visit you guys when I come back to visit, or wherever you go, I'll be there because I love you guys so much.
Stephanie, we don't want you to go anywhere. Stay here as long as
I'm not going anywhere right now, but I'm young, so
you got a great future ahead of you, Stephanie, and we're excited to share that with you. And
thanks. I love you guys.
Love you too.
Well, we already heard from Miranda Nash and Lee Burgess, so we're going to pass it over to Kayla Robles, the Director of Compliance and Academic Services. Kayla, the floor is yours.
Hi, I'm so excited y'all are here. Oh my goodness, I've heard so many great things, and to echo everything, but as a new employee, I haven't even been here for a year yet, and y'all knew my name after the first time I met you, and I was like, oh, wow, they already know my name. That's incredible. And just feeling so welcome, even during the COVID time too, when it was a little bit odd. But I really appreciate it. And Lynn, super shout out. Thank you for my new work shirts that you gave me. It fit so well. So I really appreciate y'all, and I look forward to seeing y'all around. This isn't even goodbye.
Yeah. Well, Kayla, you will always leave a lasting impression on us because you scared the living bejesus out of our board when you gave them all the compliance stuff. I've never had more board calls saying, "Can we do this? Can we do that?" I said, "Check with Kayla. Check with Kayla." But that was a great presentation you did. You're brand new employee, and already you've had to give a presentation before the board where you knocked it out of the park. So thank you, Kayla, and I look forward to working with you and seeing you on campus too.
And I love working with all of you. We've done so many special things together. We've done, just so many things at the house. And you guys you're amazing at what you do as far as games management. I mean, if you need those athletes to do something, they will. You know how to get them to do it. So I don't know how you do that, but it's amazing.
Also,
and the fans as well.
Also with COVID-19, and we didn't have a fall season. We had a spring season, and you had to do all that in one semester. And it's a wonder that you're even smiling today after what you guys are going through, and go from one game to another game and have to deal with away stuff. And I don't think anybody has a complete idea. I don't even have a complete idea of what you guys went through. And I never saw any of you lose your patience, temper, or temperament during that period. So that you get stars in your crown. I'm sure that all of you got a halfway here to heaven just for doing what you did there. And since I'm ordained, I can say that.
Appreciate that, David. Lynn, do want to shout out a few other members of the admin staff. Liz Kelly, the head athletic trainer, and her staff of Carolyn Pappin and Nicole Harshbarger and Noah Reisig. Great work keeping our student athletes healthy and safe, the athletic training staff. Also, Dr. Stephen Knott, our faculty athletics representative, who's that liaison between the faculty here at Brevard College and the student athletes. And also Joseph Marvin, who's actually producing this show. So he's punching the keyboards too fast to be able to pop on screen.
You always do.
But getting it done behind the scenes, the digital media director and assistant sports information director, Joseph Marvin, appreciate all their hard work as well. Coach Lee Burgess, we heard from you from the coaching standpoint, but you're also assistant athletic director. Now that you've maybe had a little more time to digest, what we're doing tonight, some more words from you, Coach?
Yeah, I don't have a ton more words other than I was actually a little bit taken aback. I could feel myself starting to get a little emotional talking to you guys. That's not really normal for me. I think I get misunderstood some with, being a little bit dead inside at times. I don't consider it that. I just consider it kind of even keel. But I was not expecting that. That was a surprise to me. And I just think that kind of speaks to, the impact that you guys have had and how much we are going to miss you. And just the gravity of that. I've had the chance to meet Dr. Andrews, and I'm very excited for him to get on campus and get to work with him. So I'm very much looking forward to that. But I'm going to miss you, and just really want you to know that.
Thank you, Lee. We all get a little emotional after we have a bunch of kids, right? And we learn it from them. And to watch your kids growing up, since you and I came, the three of us, and Dawn, all of us came at about the same time, to watch your family grow up and
stair steps.
Oh my goodness. And how they came to games and about the same age as our grandsons. And it's easy to get emotional now. You probably wouldn't have done that 14 years ago, but you do it.
Probably not. Yeah, you're right.
All right, Stephanie
We are
Johnson.
like family.
Yeah, it is a big family. Everybody says that, but the truthfully is that here, and like Kayla and Stephanie, who haven't been here a long time, they're part of the family and they get it, and it'll always be family. And if you like Miranda, if you leave, you'll be back. Yeah,
Miranda?
If having kids makes you more emotional, then I'm just going to not have children ever, because I almost lost it an hour ago. I just had to close my mouth. So now that I've had an hour to compose myself, I would just like to tell everyone that I did break my finger last week on my way up to David's office for a meeting. And I appreciate that you were there, because I went into shock. And I didn't even feel judged by you. And so there's not many presidents I feel like you could walk into an office and turn like sheet white and about pass out on the floor. And he got me an ice pack, and he was so comforting. And I was like, man, if I'm ever going to break my finger, you need to do it in David's office. So
And Miranda, I may or may not have done the same exact thing, going up the steps too fast. I go slower now. I just give you good advice. Slow down next time you run up the steps.
Right. Yeah, man. But no, I mean, obviously, your leadership's a testament to every person that's been on these interviews tonight. And it's always see you later. And we're just so lucky to have you guys.
Thank you for saying that, Miranda. It's been a pleasure. It will continue to be a pleasure. And I know Brad, as Lee said, will do well. We've known Brad for about 6-7 years. And when they gave him, when he won the presidency, well, actually, when he had dinner at our house, we didn't know who the finalists were till they became finalists. And when they had dinner at our house, we both looked at each other and said, I think I know who our next president's going to be. And we had our fingers crossed, and that's who they selected. So I know it'll be a great passing of the baton. And Brad has already said he hopes to see us on campus. So we won't get in his way, but we'll certainly be there to support the program. You guys are just extra special, and we mean that from the bottom of our hearts.
Very good. Appreciate that, David and Lynn. Well, Kayla and Lee, we're going to let the two of you go. And Stephanie, if you can stick around for this next special presentation, which, as the SAC advisor, and if Miranda, if you can just hang with us longer as well, we're going to bring in a couple of student athletes, and these two are our leadership of the student athlete Advisory Committee, Jack Atkinson, baseball student athlete, and also Jamarcus Walker. And before we get into this special presentation that these two are going to provide, I do want to just catch up with these two a bit, because Jack, you're the president of SAC. You're in your senior year. You're going to graduate this spring. And I know you have all sorts of plans in the works. You guys have been working hard behind the scenes with SAC, with the USA South Conference, with the NCAA. Can you catch us up on SAC and, what you've been working on from that leadership role?
Yes, sir. So we're finishing up now the cans across the conference right now, and I think our cans are due Thursday, and then we're going to start some penny donations, and then in the spring we have a color run set up. But I think my favorite memory this fall so far is when we did the pep rally together with y'all, and I feel like that went really well. It was really cool to see y'all there and see y'all's excitement when everyone's cheering and everything too.
Yeah. As long as you didn't make us dance, we were good.
Oh, yes, for sure.
And we're also joined by Jamarcus Walker, who's the vice president of SAC this year, and he's a junior men's tennis student athlete. And Jamarcus was just selected to be part of the immersion program for NCAA Division III. He's going to go to Indianapolis and attend the NCAA convention, like the big deal, the big all the big dogs are going to be up there, and Jamarcus one of them. And Jamarcus, would love to hear your feelings as far as being selected to that incredible honor.
Oh, I'm speechless. Honestly, I'm super excited. I know it's going to be a really good opportunity for me to network with a lot of people in the athletic environment. So I'm really excited. And then I've never been to Indianapolis, so that's also the biggest thing I'm looking forward to.
Well, you'll love the NCAA headquarters and all. It's really spectacular. And Josh went and he had the same opportunity, and he said it was life-changing for him. So Jamarcus, I know that you'll get a lot of benefit out of it, and this means a lot. I guess you're going to have to get a coat and tie, though. I mean,
yeah,
what you got to do.
Yeah, that's on the Christmas list.
Yeah, worth noting, a pretty impressive streak Brevard College has going. Third straight year that we've sent students to the NCAA convention, being selected to this elite program. So Jamarcus keeping that streak going. Well, Jack, Jamarcus, I know you guys have a special presentation here. We'll turn it over to the two of you.
Yes, sir. So on behalf of SAC, we want to thank you all for all that you've done for student athletes in your time here at Brevard College. It is a tremendous honor for us to announce that this evening, the newest award at Brevard College, the David and Lynn Joyce Athletics Legacy Award.
Yeah, this award will be presented to the graduating senior student athlete who exudes the legacy of David and Lynn Joyce through superior performance in competition, in the classroom, and in the community over an entire 4-year career as a student athlete at Brevard College.
Wow. This award will be presented each spring at the annual Best Beast Athletic Awards. We hope you can make it back to BC each spring to help present this major award, the David and Lynn Joyce Athletics Legacy Award.
Wow.
Well, I said I wouldn't cry tonight. I about got close to it a couple of times. I had to wipe my eyes. I even saw Miranda wiping her eyes, which made me wipe my eyes. And Stephanie started to do the same thing. Now you did it. You pushed us over the top. It's all your guys' fault. It's SAC. You tell them they made me cry. And you can't give a better thing to honor us than to give somebody else an honor for their performance, and their hard work at all levels. And yes, we'll be back to every Best B award that as long as we're mentally and physically capable, we'll be there. You can count on it. That was more than that's special. I can't talk about it. You talk about it.
I mean, for us, you students are why we do what we all. It's why we do what we do, and to see what you accomplish and how hard you work and your dedication and determination with your sport and in the classroom and outside of the classroom. I don't know how you do it a lot of times. I don't know how you manage it all. And so to have an honor like this is just incredible for us. It means a lot.
it means more than a lot. And the fact, and just this entire evening, I never realized how many of our alums are actually our coaches today, and also working on the administrative staff. It's absolutely amazing what this college has done and what you have done for the college. And I'm glad that we get some credit for it. But I keep saying it's yes, we set the pace, we set the tenor, but it takes all of us to work together to make it happen. And I haven't met anybody in the athletic program that's not all in all the time. Students, coaches, administration, they're in all the time. And I know that we don't say thank you enough, but you certainly have said over too much to us. Thank you. So it's just right back at you. It really is. And Miranda, I don't know how, I know that you and Brad will work well together, but I don't know that people understand how much help you have given me and how in working with me to make the decisions I've had to make. And that to be able to collaborate with you in a professional and in a well-informed area that I hope it, I can't think of a single time I didn't take your advice. And if I did, don't tell me because I don't want to know, but you're a great leader and you've assembled an amazing team around you. And I hope that Jamarcus and Jack, you've learned by watching your own administrative folks and coaches how to do something well. But you both are doing very well, and we're excited for all of you.
We learn from the best.
And we got
Stephanie, before we close out this show, you've got to be proud of this student athlete advisory committee and how they continue to shine. Final word from you.
Well, for this, so this is my first time being SAC advisor by myself, and I have to say my exec board has been A1. They have been on it. We have a group text, and I send them out what I need. They get it done, and I'm just so proud to have 5 student athletes that I can trust and that are accountable. And I'm super grateful for my president and vice president for being here right now, because it was like, hey, can you do it? They were like, yep, no questions asked. So I appreciate you guys. And I will support you too and everyone else on SAC all the time. Thank you.
Thank you, Stephanie. And thank you for saying that about our student athletes. When we were at the annual convention, I was at the annual convention out in California, and we had SAC representatives there. It was so obvious that Brevard College where our students were standouts in that environment. They were comfortable. They were sharp. They made an unbelievable impression. And I'm confident that that's one of the reasons why we keep getting folks selected to do what they've done. And you can take credit for the folks that you've worked together to put that together. It's been an amazing, for us, it's been an amazing run and one that we're so proud of. And we will not refuse to take all the credit. We'll take some because we will, but it can't be done without the right people in the right place at the right time, and you all of that. And Jack and Jamarcus, you've learned, you've watched, you've grown, and it's exciting to see where you are when you were here as freshmen and see where you are now as junior and a senior, and especially through COVID-19, how you kept it all together. And Brevard College has grown more in the last 2 years. I mean, it's grown significantly every year over the last 10 years. And the greatest growth has happened in the last 2 years. I mean, we are literally this close from being totally full. And most of that are athletes. And it's because you guys are coming, you're doing well, you're staying to graduate. It's an amazing thing. And Brevard is better for you. And I hope you are better for Brevard.
Well said, David. And Stephanie, thank you for your leadership. Jack and Jamarcus, thank you for your leadership of SAC. And Miranda, before we close out this program, now we've got a little bit of time to kind of reflect on the evening. Final thoughts from you.
Gosh, stop making me talk, Phil. I just cry every time something tries to come out. No, it was just a wonderful evening, and I hope that you guys feel loved and appreciated, and you deserve so much more. And we still have a little bit of time to celebrate you. So this is just kind of a first step for us to show from athletics how appreciative we are of your leadership. And we're just so excited to celebrate you over my favorite holiday season. And so I think you timed that great. But yeah, it's just an incredible testament to what you built. And we're just so thankful for you.
Thank you, Miranda. And we would be remiss if we didn't point out to the person who organized this, who presented this, and has done so. You know what? I just hope ESPN doesn't grab you, Phil, because you have brought a professionalism to the way that we market ourselves and the way we present ourselves to the outside world. It makes a huge difference. And just know that all of us talk about you behind your back all the time. And we love you, Phil, and we love what you've done for the program. So don't ever let that escape you. And thank you.
Phil, what would you like to say?
Well, I just like to say it's been a blast. You know, I love it up here in Brevard, North Carolina, at Brevard College, and you know all the people. They're an incredible bunch of people who have a calm, cool, collected kind of pace about themselves, yet are highly efficient, you know, in whatever needs to be done. So it's like kind of the best of both worlds. You know, we're able to enjoy all the success, but also kind of relax at the same time in these beautiful mountains of Western North Carolina. And you know, David and Lynn, you all's leadership have kind of created that template for all of us, you know, on staff here at Brevard College. So on behalf of the staff in particular, you know, not just athletics, you know, a big thank you to you all. And, you know, we look forward to what's next. And, you know, David, maybe we can conclude with that because Dr. Bradley J. Andrews, the 14th president of Brevard College, you know, he'll take over in January. Love to hear your thoughts as far as like, you know, the baton being passed to Dr. Andrews and, you know, what the future may hold. I mean, the future, you know, is just bright. We probably just scratched the surface here with all this success we've been talking about tonight.
Thank you, Phil. And I do have a little, I would say, but I also point out that as I've been watching you and all these events where you've led, we talk about how even keeled we are and how we do, but we all know that it's hard work and sort of like ducks on the pond. I was going to say, you know, we look calm and collected on the top, but we're paddling like hell underneath. But then as I look at you and I see you sitting there making this happen, and right on your head is a tornado. And I think that's the best view of what we do at Brevard College. We're always in that whirlwind, but we're calm and collected, and we make it happen. I think Brad will make an excellent addition, and he said to us, and I believe him. And I'll tell you a quick story because that's what I do. But he said to us, and one of the reasons he was interested was because he would like to follow me. And you know, in 3 presidencies, the first 2 there was no pass. Oh, actually, all 3. It was. I'm trying to say how you say this. I had to come into a vortex. There was nothing before. I mean, they were not. Anyway, it had to come into a vortex. How different it is to be able to leave a great place and be able to have somebody pick up the baton and run with it. And 6 years ago, Lynn does in our, and you've heard the story, but in our sector, there's a group called CIC, and it's the small colleges, under 3,500 liberal arts, private colleges. And there are about 700 members in it, of colleges represented. And we have an annual meeting every year, and there'll be about it's almost like NCAA. There'll be about 2,500 people, 2,000 people there. And Lynn, for the last 13 years, has been running the pre-conference workshop for the president's spouses, the new president's spouses, and significant others. I'm on the faculty of the pre-conference workshop for new presidents. I guess we've been around long enough that we got kind of sucked into that. And they told us 2 or 3 years, but it's been 13. And I'm not even getting to do it this year. Gillian they want her to come back and at least do one more for the spouses. Well, 6 or 7 years ago, Brad and Trish were in that program, and I get assigned about 5 mentees every year just to check on, to be there if they need a question or anything else. I'll call them. And Brad was one of my mentees 6 years ago. And I knew he was going to do well. And when I found out that he was a finalist, I knew that the college was going to do well. He's done very well at Southwestern, a good school, Methodist school in Kansas. And if you can do it in Kansas, you can do it anywhere. I didn't say that, but I did say it. But I'm highly confident. He's excited about being here. They've got a young family, so it'll be nice to have that activity around the president's house. His wife has a background. Trish has a background in student life and student success, and she's so excited about doing events on campus. And she's talked to Lynn a lot, and so I really do believe. And he's not intimidated that we'll be around, and we have no intentions of getting in the way. We just want to be supportive, and I tell people I sleep better at night. We've worked very hard to get where we are, and I'd hate to see the wheels get loose. And knowing who you all are and what's happening there, and the leadership that's coming, I'm very confident that it will go to the next level. And we'll be cheerleaders and very excited. And what the heck, they're going to give an award with our name on it. So, and we got a tornado in front of the field house with our name on it. So everybody's going to know we're still around.
Right.
No doubt about it. Well, thank you, David and Lynn. Thank you, Stephanie Johnson, Miranda Nash, Jack Atkinson, Jamarcus Walker, all the guests who were able to join us this evening. Really appreciate all their contributions. And thank you, NATO Nation, the fans, the supporters, the sponsors, who follow us on social media, who tune into these programs, who watch the live streams of the games, who attend the games in person. We couldn't do it without you as well. And look forward to seeing you at another Brevard College Tornado Athletics event tomorrow night at the Bosch, 6 p.m. Women's basketball versus Bob Jones. Be sure to be there. Thanks again, David and Lynn. Congratulations. Go Tornadoes.
Go Tornadoes.